Please, sir, state your name and your position.
My name is Robert LaFrance. I am owner and general manager of Arts Crafts Beer Parlor.
That is not true. You are Andy Garcia in disguise.
Welcome back to the Happy Hour, guys, and welcome to our series featuring Arts and Crafts Beer Parlor, 26 West 8th Street in New York City's West Village. It's time to look at what makes this place so special, which begs the question, if you get a great keg of beer from a brewery, turns out that in that last several feet between the keg and your glass, a lot can go wrong. Or, as in this case, a lot can go right.
Welcome to the subterranean caverns below 8th Street in the West Village. My name is Jimmy Ludwig.
My name is Mark Aldridge.
And we are the Happy Hour Guys. This is the heart of Arts and Crafts Beer Parlor.
They made a decision early on, I think it was a smart one, to put their money where their beer is.
I like how that sounds.
Yeah, me too. It took me a while to get there. But it's smart. This is a beer delivery system unlike probably any that you've ever seen. We've never seen one like it. We know they exist.
Yeah.
It's not often that we compare a draft system to a sports car. Why don't we give that a try?
We are by beer nerds for beer nerds. This is a beer aficionado bar, and the delivery of our product is paramount to what we do here at Arts and Crafts. If you're going to call yourself a beer parlor, you got to have perfect beer. So we figured we would buy the Ferrari of beer systems. After we went through the whole investigation of what was out there and what was really the top of the line on the market, we realized that we were upgrading from the Ferrari to the Bugatti of beer systems. So what we have right here on tap is a Chillrite 32. What does that mean? Well, a Chillrite 32 basically guarantees that the beer will be poured at 32 degrees. How do we do that? We have 80 feet of trunk line leading from below us where our keg room is. Intermingled within each individual line of beer are lines of glycol, which is a supercoolant. In the back, we have a chiller unit, which is basically a supercomputer that analyzes the temperature of the beer that is coming out of the keg. And in that 80 feet process, by the time it leaves the keg to the time that it comes here, it's going to be 32 degrees, guaranteed.
By the way, Robert, you describing that just now was one of the sexiest things we've ever done.
This is our version of heaven right here. You know, at the end of the world, this is where we want to be, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
This is a cold room that we essentially built ourselves. 2 chillers here that we have, so it's a redundant system, so we only need to run one, but we've got 2. So it's almost counterintuitive. You think that the longer the beer travels in the line, the warmer it gets. By the time it gets into your glass, it's going to be warm. Just the opposite with this system.
So I'm going to go ahead and pour you a beautiful pint of Braufaktum Rug, which is a Rauch beer. In German, that means it is a smoked wheat beer. Kind of hard to come by. You don't find it in a lot of places here in New York.
So, does it really matter how you pour a beer? Well, of course it does.
So to pour a beer perfectly on the Chillrite 32 system, typically what we do is angle the beer approximately 45 degrees. You pull. Every beer has its own character. Some beers will pour faster, some will pour slower, depending upon the viscosity of the beer and how much nitrogen involvement is in the transfer of the beer from the keg room up here. Really has a lot to do with how the beer reacts once it comes out of the faucet. So typically what we like to do is get the beer mostly started to make sure that it is pouring appropriately. One thing a lot of places forget to do is add head up to the beer. Now that is a really important part of the olfactory perception of each beer. So what we would do with a Rauch beer, increase the distance between where the beer is pouring and the beer to give it a perfect head. And as you can see, the beer will settle and you should be able to get a good solid finger to a finger and a half of head on that beer. And that right there is a perfectly poured Rauch beer. Cheers.
And here's something you might not realize about using a system like the Chillrite, which fits into the philosophy at Arts and Crafts. It is much, much greener.
The beer tap system, as I was explaining before, has been extraordinary. It cuts our electricity bill in half. We only have to run our coolers downstairs 8 hours a day because the chiller unit in the back takes the beer at whatever temperature. And I'm not kidding, I can put a 90-degree keg on one end, and because of the glycol infusion in the trunk lines that lead up to the tap system up top, it's automatically, because of the computer in the chiller unit, gonna be 32 degrees. So when I come in the morning, or the boys come in the morning to set up, the cold room is probably 40 degrees, 50 degrees, no problem. We only run one of the blower units every day. We literally use half the electricity as the place that was here before. Most beer tap systems, your beer loss is going to be around about 20%. With the chill-right system, because it's a vacuum-based system, we literally lose maybe 2 to 4 beers per keg, and that's with us cycling new beers.
Right.
So our actual beer loss is probably 2 or 3%. Between that and us being very cognizant of what we're doing with the water system, we sleep a lot better at night.
Of course. So that beer delivery system is better for the beer.
Yep.
It's better for the environment.
Yes.
And it's better for your bottom line.
So remember, folks, getting great craft beer to any bar is only the first step. Once that beer is in the door, it is the bar's job to care for it well, get it to your glass in the right way, and pour it correctly. And they are doing all of those things perfectly at Arts and Crafts. Coming up soon on the Happy Hour Guys, some features on the really cool art program they have at Arts and Crafts and on the incredible community that they foster there. We'll see you next time. Cheers.